is Daryl, and today I'm going to teach you everything there is to know about the Yoast SEO plugin for your WordPress website. By the end of this tutorial, your website will be fully optimized and ready to go, I guarantee it. And I'll also include a lot of resources where you can further your SEO skills and also improve your website's visibility. But really quickly, a lot of people ask me, what exactly is the Yoast plugin? What does it do? So basically, in a nutshell, it helps index your website for search engines like Google, Yahoo, and Bing. It tells people what your website is all about. So right here, you guys can see my website, darylwilson.com, how to make a WordPress website, how to start your own WordPress website step by step. So that is my niche, and this was all done with the Yoast SEO plugin. So it's very important that you have it and that you use it because it is a very valuable plugin. And we're going to start from scratch. So this is my website, and it is not optimized. I have never even installed the plugin. So I'm going to start from scratch with you guys to help you learn about the plugin. So in order to get the plugin, there's two places where you can get it. You guys can actually click on the link in the description. It will take you to this page right here, Yoast, and you guys can go ahead and go to WordPress plugins. Just go to check them out. And right here, you can download the Yoast SEO plugin for there, etc. And then they're going to offer you the premium, but you can just go ahead and download the free version. We will talk more about the SEO premium version and what it can do for your website. There are a lot of cool features that the Yoast premium plugin does have, but for now, we'll just go ahead and download the free version, and we'll go ahead now and get started. So the first thing we need to do is go on to our dashboard right here. Right here, and we need to first install the plugin. So we're going to go down to plugins right here, and we're going to go to add new. And then up here, you're going to see upload plugin. We can actually just go ahead and upload that plugin that we downloaded from their website, and click on open, and click on install now. All right, so you guys can see right here, it is uploading onto our server. And installed successfully, and now I'm going to activate the plugin. All right, so it is activated. Everything's going good. It's already letting us know that we have SEO problems. Don't worry, they do that all the time. Now, another way to download this plugin is just by going to add new right here under plugins and typing in Yoast. You type in Yoast, you will see the plugin come up. And this is it right here. So this is the same plugin. So that's another way you can download the Yoast SEO plugin. So now let's go ahead and do the fun stuff. Let's go ahead and go through all the options and learn all about Yoast. So right here, you're going to see this Yoast. Just go ahead and click on that. And it's going to bring us to our dashboard. It's letting us know that we have errors, etc. Don't worry about it. Just go ahead and ignore these right here. And we're going to go through each of these options to configure it. So right here, we're going to go to our general tab. And they have this really cool new option. It's basically a configuration wizard. So go ahead and just click on open the configuration wizard. And it's going to take us to this page, and it's going to ask us all sorts of questions about our website. If you want to receive their newsletter, you can go ahead and sign up. If not, go ahead and click on next. Right here, so environment. So this is a live site with real traffic. That is for me. I'm going to click on that and click on next. Now, whatever site type it is for you, you're going to put that in right here, okay? What kind of website is this? Is this a blog, a web shop, a news site, a small business site? I'm just gonna go ahead and say it's a small business site and click on next. Now, is this a company or is this a person? So what is the name of the person if it is a person? If this is a company, go ahead and put the name of the company and also the image of the company's logo right here. So for person, I'm gonna put Daryl Wilson, and then click on next. And this is your social profiles, and don't worry, we can come back to this at any time later. So if you want to enter in your your Facebook page or your Twitter username, etc., you can enter all these in right here. And also for your Facebook page, make sure it is a fan page, okay? I don't think that Yoast actually allows private profiles on, I don't think any website would allow private profiles, because if someone clicks on it, it's just going to say the page is not available. So make sure that it is a fan page, okay? So if you want, enter that in right now, but don't worry, we'll come back to this by clicking on next. Now, This is basically saying, what do you want to have visible? So your posts, of course, yes. Your pages, yes. Media is actually the stuff that you upload onto your server. So by default, Yoast knows this and has it hidden. However, keep in mind that there is always a link to all of those in your server. And for projects, we want that visible. And also for products, definitely we want that visible. So once you're done right here, we're gonna click on next. And do you have multiple authors? So do you have multiple people on this website making these changes? If yes, go ahead and put yes. If no, go ahead and put no. And go to next. Now we're gonna go ahead and fetch our Google authorization code. So we're going to link this to our Google Search Console. So the first thing we actually need to do is actually set this property up and create it in Google Search Console. So to do that, it's very simple. Just go ahead and type in Google Search Console. Now guys, you will need a Gmail account. You cannot do this without a Gmail account. So it is a required thing that you must have. It is free, so you will need to create a Gmail account. Once you're there, you're gonna click on this first one right here, which is -webmaster tools -tools. A long time ago, it was called Google Webmaster Tools, and then I guess they decided to change it for whatever reason. So we're actually gonna go ahead and enter this property. So right here under add a property, we're going to type in our website. So HTTP, and then right here, www.secret, let's see, let me do that again, secretmarkets.site, and I'm going to click on add. Alrighty. Now it's asking me for all this information, but for now, we're just going to go ahead and we're going to select not now. We can do this a little bit later. And if we go to our dashboard right here, we should be able to see all of our websites. So this is the website right here, and it's going to say not verified. Okay, so it's going to look just like this right here, where it says not verified. Earlier, like I think a month ago, I verified it, so that's why it doesn't say it now, but it will say not verified. Okay, and don't worry about it. We will go ahead and verify it. So right here, we want to go ahead and say, get the Google authorization code. So go ahead and click on that. And we want to click on allow, and we're going to go ahead and paste this code right here, or copy this code, and we're going to paste it right here, and we're going to click on authenticate. All right, so now it says select a profile, and you're going to notice that secretmarkets.site comes up just like that. So we're going to click on next. All right, and now for our website name. So right here I'm going to put secret markets. And then right here is a title separator. So what is a title separator? So for example, if I go over here to Google and I type in Daryl Wilson, you're going to see that some websites have this, brackets, some have this dash, some have this colon. So whatever you would like, you can get creative, whatever. You can go ahead and put that in, maybe a breadcrumb, something like that. So whatever you'd like. So I'm going to put a dot and then go to next. And don't worry, these can always be changed later in the other settings, so don't panic. Right here, we're going to go ahead and click on close, unless you want to sign up for their newsletter. All right. All right, so we've done that. Now we're going to go to our general settings. We've done all of this, so these are all good. Now we're going to go to features. Now we're going to actually enable the advanced settings pages. Now these are very important because this includes the XML sitemap and also the robot text, which are probably the two most important things about the advanced settings that you will need to activate. But don't worry, it's really easy. I'll show you how. So go ahead and click on enabled and go to save changes. And you're going to notice that more tabs open up right here. So we will come back to these in just a little bit. Right here under your info, go ahead and put your website's name. If you have an alternate name, you go ahead and put that in. A company or person, earlier I put in Daryl Wilson, so it has that information already stored in there. So our webmaster tools. Now go ahead and click on the Google Search Console. Now there also is Bing. You can verify it with Bing as well, or Yandex, but most people just probably use Google and Bing. So I'm gonna click on Google Search Console right here. Alrighty, and you're gonna see that there is an HTML tag. So you see this HTML tag right here? All you need to do, it's actually going to say like other methods. So right here, it's going to say other methods. So click on other methods, and you're going to want to click on HTML tag. It's probably the easiest one to use. So just go ahead and highlight all of this and copy it. And then just go ahead and paste it right in here and go ahead and click on Save Changes. And you're going to notice all this code is going to be gone, and it's just going to be these letters now. That's really all they want. So Yoast already knows this, so they've deleted all of it. So just go ahead and leave that as Save Changes. Alrighty. And next we're going to go to security. Now, unless you want other authors to make changes, leave this disabled. If not, you can enable that. But for now, I'm going to leave this disabled. Click on Save Changes. All right, guys, congrats. Nope, that's just kidding. Not all the way done, but we've done our general settings. We've done all of the basic stuff. So this is very basic, yet also very important. Now let's go ahead and go to our titles and metas. Then we'll go to our social, XML sitemaps, advanced tools, and lastly, we'll talk about the pro version, which is really, really cool. So right here, we talked about the title separator. I put the little dot right there. Now, readability analysis is a new feature for the Yoast plugin. And what this does is basically it scans your page and basically says, is this related to all your content? So we're going to leave these both enabled, and we will talk about this on the next tab. And also for keyword analysis, yes, you want to leave that enabled. So once you're done here, click on Save Changes. All right. And now we're going to go to our home page. And we're going to actually, get creative and edit our front page itself. So right here under this little line, click on Edit the front page itself. Alrighty. And you're going to notice that we have this box right here and this box right here. So this box is for our keywords. So what keywords are you trying to focus? All right. So right here, I'm going to put, how or what am I, a clothing store? So learn or come by our clothing store. Come by our amazing clothes. Yeah, clothes. We have a cool clothing store. All right. And then for our description, we're going to put, this is a cool clothing store. We sell really nice clothes. Come learn all, you're going to put your, your company information and your description and all that stuff in there. So this is where you would enter it in. Come learn about our store and our amazing clothing brands for sale. All right. Now I entered in clothing store quite a bit. So just for tutorial purposes, I'm trying to target the keyword of clothing store. So you can test the word by typing it in right here. So clothing. Is clothing optimized? You're going to see that I have this, it changed. I have this green light. So in the analysis right here, you can read all about it, that we have enough keywords. We have our page title is a good length. You've never used this keyword before, very good, etc. If it's in orange, you might need improvement. If it's in red, change it. You got to change it. You got to make sure it's a little bit more relevant to what you're talking about. So clothing store, you guys can see it's relevant. But if I enter something in like tamale, you're going to see that it's not really too relevant to, clothing store. And they're saying you might want to change, tamale. So that is an example of keywords and how you can optimize your front page. Now for readability is basically talking about the content on your page. And they talk about stuff like keyword density. And keyword density is very important. And that's why I recommend that other course right here. I think it's Wilson SEO tutorial. And in this tutorial, they talk a lot about keyword density. Keyword density is basically how many times that word appears on the page. If it appears too much, guys, that's called keyword stuffing, and Google will penalize your website for keyword stuffing. So there is a lot of stuff you might want to take this course and learn about stuff about keyword density and interlinking and all sorts of really cool stuff. It's really simple. You just gotta, take the time to actually learn it. So they're basically saying this is good. This is good. If you have too much keyword stuffing or something like that, they would basically let you know. But for the most part, they're saying your site, it does have relevant content to each other, etc. All right. So that is a little rundown of readability. Next, you guys have this other tab, and this is for Facebook sharing. So if you want people to have a specific, title description, when people share your page, you would enter that in right here, and also an image for Facebook as well, and make sure it's 1200 by 630. All right. Next, we have your advanced settings, but we will talk more about no follow and robots a little bit later when we talk about robot text files. All right. So it looks like we're done with the, the visibility and the keywords. Let's go ahead now and go back to our settings. I think we're on titles and metas. All right. So we're going to go to homepage, and the last one was post types. So right here, we're probably just going to go ahead and do the right thing and enter in just title. And what we're going to enter in right here is called excerpt. So you guys can actually find the list of commands by going right here on the Help Center and going to basic variables. And we're going to actually copy this right here, excerpt. And we're going to go ahead and I'm going to close this right here. And we're going to go ahead and put just like that. Now, why do I do this? Well, most SEO experts will recommend just to have your title and excerpt. So just a title about your page and just a brief synopsis. They don't want your site name, all this other junk and information. It's just really not relevant to the post. And if you go to any other website, like on Google or something like that, for example, we'll go over here and go to Google and type in, coffee mugs, something simple, coffee mugs. You're just going to see that it has a title and a brief synopsis. They're not going to include all this other mumbo jumbo junk because it just would not make sense to put that on, your website. And also you want to make sure that this is indexed and you don't want to hide it. And of course we want the Yoast meta box to show. Yes, that is correct. So this is for your posts. So whenever you post something, if you're a blogger, that is for that. But this is basically a standard option for most settings. So remember, just delete everything they have right here and only have your title and go ahead and leave it as excerpt. And I believe that Yoast already knows that excerpt is the correct command and they will actually automatically put it in. So for example, if you go to the Help Center right here and you're going to go down to excerpt, it's going to say that it is auto-generated if it does not exist. So I believe they're basically saying, we're going to put this in if you put nothing in, because Yoast actually knows that this is the correct thing to put in on your meta description. All right. So same thing for your pages, same thing for your media. If you have projects, same thing for that, title, excerpt, products, a title, excerpt as well. And right here, you can do your post type archives as well as projects and products as well. So that is basically a rundown of title and excerpt about how important it is. And like I said, I took that class, and even the professors, people need to do this more. So that's why I kind of recommend that class on Udemy. So right here under taxonomies, we're gonna go now and do our categories. So you can leave most of these standard. These are taxonomies, but most people don't index these too much, even for the format here, Yoast already knows, but has no index. But I would leave the tags and categories indexed just for SEO and, historic sake. I would probably leave all these, you can leave these standard, or you can leave it as title excerpt. But, I would just leave it as term title. All this other stuff, I probably would not want it in there. But you can usually just leave this stuff. This is just taxonomies. It's not vitally important. So going down right here, same thing, guys. Product categories, same thing. All this information, index, no index. Most of the stuff you want to leave it indexed. And shipping classes is a new one. Yoast just entered that in. So I've noticed that people were complaining, saying that there was not a feature for shipping classes. And, I think that's what they did in the new patch. So that's really cool that they did that. Now, archives. Archives, you generally do not want to index. Now, the reason why is because earlier I talked about duplicate content, and in fact, Yoast knows this already, and they have actually put it as no index right here, saying there are cases of duplicate content. Now, why does duplicate content matter? Well, if Google thinks that you're spamming keywords and spamming content in order to get ranked, they will penalize your website. And by penalize, I mean that's throwing you on page 900. So you don't want to get penalized for stuff like that. So make sure that these are probably set as no indexed, and that would probably be the correct thing to do. Also for your author archives, You can leave this as blank. You know, these are just archives, so these are like old files and stuff like that. But I would probably leave this as no index as well for your author archives, because they also tell you that there are cases where this can create a duplicate content problem. So make sure whoever you're working with, you're working in an SEO company, to double check that. But I would probably just go ahead and leave that as no index for that setting for author archives as well as data archives. And right here, these are for special pages. So these are for like a 401 page. I would leave these blank. You know, if somebody can't find your website or gets a broken link, it will say a separator and your site name. All right, so I'm gonna click on Save Changes here. And lastly, we have Other. So right here, Google doesn't really use meta keyword tags anymore. So that's why even Yoast is kind of like saying, we don't really know why you'd want to use these, but feel free to, because Google does not rank with them anymore. They used to back in the day, but a lot of people started to stuff keyword tags and they got nasty. So then Google just came out and said, all right, we're not doing these no more. So people just don't really use keyword tags anymore. Now for this right here, for the meta robots tag site-wide, if you are not fluent with JavaScript, just leave all this stuff blank. You know, just leave it all disabled. You know, don't mess with these settings. Please don't mess with these settings if you don't know what they are. Just leave them blank. I don't want to be responsible. You comment on it like, you ruined my site, dude. You know, just don't. If you don't know what it is, if you're not sure, leave it blank. Okay. Remember, these are technically the advanced settings. All right. So we went through all of these. You know, these are actually pretty simple, pretty easy. And now you guys understand a little bit more about, you know, duplicate content, title excerpt, etc. So now let's go ahead and go to social. So social, same thing, guys. You know, I really don't have to tell you what a URL is at this point. You guys probably know. So for example, my Facebook fan page, I'm going to go ahead and go over here to my Facebook fan page. Wow, I have 9 notifications and all these messages. So right here, I'm going to go ahead and take this link and just copy it. This is my fan page right here, by the way. So I'm just going to go ahead and enter that and make sure it is a fan page. I'm telling you, if it's a private profile, it will probably not work. All right. And the same thing for all these. I'm not going to go through each and every one, guys. You know, I think you understand what a URL is, right? So next, we're going to go to Facebook. And right here, if you want people to, you know, share it and you want an image to be there, go ahead and upload the image. And if you are a developer and you have Facebook admin rights, you can go ahead and enter your Facebook app ID right there. All right. Next, we have our Twitter box. So if somebody shares your stuff, how do you want it to be seen, basically? We want the meta card there. So let me give you all an example. We can have a summary or a summary with a large image. So really quickly, we're going to go to this small section right here, and I'm going to show you what it looks like. Let's see right here, just like this. So this right here is a picture with, you know, summary. So if you want something like that, somebody shares your stuff, you want to select summary with a large image, and then, you know, go ahead and put that there, and, you know, summary, whatever you'd want. All right, it's pretty basic. All right, and for Pinterest, you know, you can enter your confirmation code. You know, guys, I don't really use Pinterest. I know all the girls out there do. So, you know, sorry, I just can't help you with this part of the tutorial. So this is where you enter your Pinterest confirmation code. I don't have a Pinterest. I don't use it. I just know, like, my ex-girlfriend loved it. She used it all the time. So I don't know. And then right here is also your Google Plus URL. So just go ahead and enter that in. And like I said, guys, getting the pro version would actually be very helpful because if you actually go over here to email supports, they're actually going to recommend you to buy the Yoast Premium. If you guys use the link in the description, I do receive a small commission if you purchase the Yoast plugin, so I appreciate it. And it also helps me continue to make these tutorials, super long tutorials, for free. So now that we've done all this right here, we're going to go down to the XML sitemap. All right, so really quickly, an XML sitemap is basically, you know, setting what you want indexed and searched and everything on your website. It's very important that you have an XML sitemap. All right. So over here in our post types, what do you want in the sitemap? Now, there are some cases where people are running promotions and they don't want it indexed. So they're going to say, don't put that in the sitemap. I don't want it there. But for most people, you're going to want to leave post, pages, projects, and products there. Media, generally not. That's in your server, but you know, you can put that as well. These are basically attachments. So, you know, most people don't really want that stuff, you know, indexed. It's not that relevant. And also excluded posts. And I talked about that earlier about having people, people doing Halloween promotions or Christmas promotions or even Black Friday that's coming up right now. So, we'll see what they have for sale. I kind of want to monitor a 2K monitor, but we'll see what happens. So to get this page post ID, you're going to go ahead and go to your posts or pages and find it there. And the ID you put it right there. And then, like I said, just separate it with a comma. If you do not want those if you want those excluded out of the sitemap, okay? And taxonomies, generally you'd probably want all of these in the sitemap. So make sure not to change any of this stuff, okay? So I'm gonna go to save changes, and we're gonna go to general. Oh, sorry, I disabled that. So do that one more time, save changes. Now guys, to get this to properly work, you're gonna have to change your permalinks. So if I go to XML sitemap right now, it's actually going to work. So I'm going to click on it, and you're going to see this little map come up. Now, in most cases, if you're brand new to WordPress, this will not be the case. You will get a 404 error, okay? So in order to change that, you're going to go to settings and go to permalinks. And most people have it under custom. If it's under custom structure, guys, it will not work. You'll get a 404 error. So make sure it's under post name, okay? And I think all these other ones don't work. Let me just try it, date and name. I don't think this works. So let's try it again to do the sitemap with that, and we'll see if my theory is correct. But you want it under post name. Okay, it works for that. Yeah. Okay, so I guess that works for that too. But if you're brand new to WordPress, you will need to change your permalinks, or else you will get a 404 error. And like I said, if you have trouble, guys, I'm going to have to recommend to purchase it, because you can email their support and get help with the plugin and make sure that your site is fully optimized. So right here, I'm going to make sure it's under post name, under permalinks, and go to save. All right. So going back over here, going back over to the Yoast plugin under XML sitemaps, now we need to actually create the sitemap. So let me explain what each setting is under the sitemap. So I have all these right here. I'm going to go ahead and close all these right here. All right, so this right here is your sitemap for your posts, your page, your products, your categories, and your product categories. Now we will need to enter each and every one to be indexed by Google. So now we'll need to actually go to our Google Search Console and put in this sitemap, okay? So go on over to Google right here, and we're gonna go to Google's Search Console or Webmaster Tools, same thing. Now, I don't know why they changed it. They should have just left it the same, right? So right here, we're going to have our website right here. And, we can actually, I think right now, mine is verified. If it is not verified on your end, if it just did not work, I'll go ahead and actually skip the XML sitemaps, and we'll just go to Search Console right here. And we will actually authorize this again, just in case, it did not work for you. So in order to do that, we're going to go to our settings right here and re-authenticate with Google. And just make sure that your site is, that it does work. So we'll go to get authorization code again, and we'll go to allow, and just go ahead and type this in right here. And we're going to go ahead and paste this code and authenticate. So we've kind of jumped around to Search Console because we want to make sure that your site is there. So secretmarkets.site is there, and go to save profile. All right, so like I said, it's just making sure that you're there. Also, under the dashboard, if your site does not appear under the Google Search Console, I believe it's under the features, the general, right here, the Google Search Console. This is another way. And remember, you need to add the property like we did earlier, or else it will not work. And this is where you enter in your meta tag to make sure that your site is verified. So you will need to follow those steps before we do the XML sitemap, okay? So I'm gonna go back to XML sitemap right now. And now we're going to go back to our Google Search Console. So this is our current website right here, secretmarkets.site. Now, I want to add the XML sitemap to my Search Console so it can be properly crawled and indexed, etc. So over here under Manage Property, actually, we're just going to go ahead and click on the website. And over here, it's going to basically tell us that it doesn't have anything, no sitemaps. It's all bad. So we need to fix this. So we're going to go to, I believe it's crawl, and go to sitemaps. All right. And it's really simple, guys, to add the sitemap. All you need to do is just click on add a sitemap. Now you see where it says secretmarkets.site. Just go ahead on over here and just take this backlink of each one right there where it stops, and then just copy this, and then just go ahead and paste it. And you can test this, guys, to make sure it's working by going to test. So it's saying testing, please do not close this page. I'm gonna go ahead and view the results, and it is found, and no errors were found, everything's good. So go ahead and just close the test. And now we can go ahead and do that again and submit it. And you need to refresh the page in order for it to show. And there you go. So it was submitted. It's pending. It will take time, guys. And remember, this is not going to happen overnight. So don't expect to wake up in the next morning like, am I on the first page? Like, that's not how it works. So going back over here, we're going to take all these right here and copy these and add a sitemap. I'm going to go ahead and paste it in and go to submits. All right. So that one's submitted too. And we'll need to refresh the page for each one. Now, guys, you might only have one or two, okay? I have a lot because I have products, I have posts, I have post categories, etc. So you might only have just page and posts, okay? So make sure when you go to add a sitemap and you enter this in right here, you could submit it, refresh the page, and then later on you'll probably come back and it will say that it is working. Just give it like 2 weeks. I don't know. I mean, Google just gets to it when they get to it. There is no like, I want it done now. They're like, we'll get to it when we get to it, dude. So that is basically how you would enter in the sitemaps. Okay. So make sure that you have your page, your post, whatever you want indexed there. This is how you upload sitemaps. Very simple, right? It's not hard. It's very easy to do it. All right. So I have 2 other ones, but I'm just not going to do it. So I'm just going to go ahead and close it. And I'm going to close this one right here. And we're going to go back to this option. So we've done sitemaps. So now let's go ahead and go to the next tab. We're almost done, guys. We are almost done. And I'm also going to talk to you guys a little bit about Freelancer and also the other Udemy course. I do have a link for Freelancer in the description. And we will talk about outsourcing your SEO to people in India, where you guys can get really high quality SEO work done for like really, really, really cheap. So right here is breadcrumbs. So what is a breadcrumb? So if I go to enabled right here, and you're going to see these right here are breadcrumbs. And it's basically just a look. And some websites have it, some people don't. On my last tutorial, I did show you how to use breadcrumbs. I don't think I did it 100% properly. But for example, I think WP Beginner uses breadcrumbs. So let me see. These guys, no, they don't anymore. Wow. So yeah, they don't use them anymore. So, yeah, even on my website, I don't use breadcrumbs. Breadcrumbs are basically like little arrows on the link. So it's gonna look something like this right here, these right here. But remember, I would never mess with breadcrumbs. You can break your theme by trying to enter breadcrumbs in the wrong way. So guys, please, if you don't know what breadcrumbs are, just leave it disabled. Do not touch it. This will show you how to insert breadcrumbs into your theme. But remember, some themes, I don't know, some themes can't handle breadcrumbs. So remember, do not use breadcrumbs if you are not familiar with it. You're going to have to enter a piece of code, and you can click right here. And these guys will tell you how to do it on Yoast, but they also recommend that you should have a developer do it. I don't want to be responsible if you guys like mess your theme up or your website up. It's just not worth it for breadcrumbs. It's just like, it's not a big deal. It's really not. So over here under permalinks, under the next section, you basically want to leave all of these, disabled, except for, I'll talk about this last one, which is redirect ugly links, permalinks. Now, Yoast kind of doesn't like this, but they've inserted it anyways. So basically what this is let's say I go to my website right here, secretmarkets.site.com, and we just enter in, if I just do something like, what's a sample page? Let's see here. Oh no, this is the wrong website. So secretmarkets.site. So it's sort of if you enter the wrong keyword, or if you enter like a little bit, if the address isn't 100% correct, they'll fix it for you. So right here, I have shop, and then let's see if I can do this. So I'll go ahead and redirect this, and basically saying, if somebody types in something right here on the URL, but they enter in like, something like that, Yoast will try to redirect it to the most relevant current page. But this does conflict with other plugins. So I know it sounds cool in theory, but you might want to leave that. If you know, if you want, like I said, I just don't want to be responsible if it does conflict with other plugins. I don't know what you're running, but I'm just basically telling you that is what the redirecting ugly URLs to clean permalinks does. Okay, so you guys can actually go over here to the help center right here and watch a small video about it. He does talk about it, so you know that is a you know, something to look about. But for now, I'm gonna go ahead and do no redirect. Click on save changes. All right, so remember, for most of these settings, guys, if you're not familiar, just don't touch them. Permalinks are a very sensitive issue, and they are really, you know, it's a very sensitive thing because they can make or break your website. And RSS feeds, I would probably just leave these blank as well. These basically talk about links back to your blog and your blog posts, but leaving these would probably be to your best benefit. All right, so right here, I'm gonna click on save changes, and we're gonna go to the next section of tools. All right, so this right here is the bulk editor and the file editor, and also import and export. And this last section is important because you will need to create a robot.txt file. All right, so first, the bulk editor right here, it's basically just another way how you can title your stuff right here. So you know, you can go ahead and put like what's the new Yoast SEO title. We'll go ahead and put instead of auction house, we'll do bidding house. And then we can go ahead and save, and then there you go. So that's basically it's a bulk way to sort of change the description, the title and the description of your of all your pages. So this right here is the meta description. So if you want to change the meta description for each of these products or pages, you can do it right here through the bulk editor. It's a much faster way to do it. But you know, if you've already created your products, guys, and you're not really familiar with it, just leave it blank. Just leave it be. Okay. But the section I do want to talk about that's very important is the file editor. And this will basically create your robot.txt file. So over here under file editor, this is your ACE file access. Do not touch this. Leave this here, please. Just pretend it's not even there. But you will need to create a robot.txt file. And basically what this does is that it enables Google to sort of crawl your website and get all the information about it so it can properly index it. So all you need to do is click on create robot.txt file. And then you'll get something that looks like this. Usually it doesn't do that, but we'll go ahead and go back. And yeah, there you go. So it's created right there. And this is actually, it creates it in the server. So just go ahead and click on save changes to robot.txt. You know, if all that script doesn't happen, you guys, don't worry. Usually that does not happen, but you know, in the world of WordPress, everything weird happens sometimes. So this has created the robot.txt file. And you guys can view it in your server. It's going to be in your web root in your server if you want to check it out. But I'm not going to do that because I don't want you guys to go through your server if you're not familiar with it. But let's go ahead now and go to our search console. And we've already done this right here. So the last thing we're going to do is we're going to talk about the premium stuff. So the premium settings, guys, are really good. The video SEO, it basically will rank you higher in video. So for example, if someone goes over here to videos, it will properly optimize it for, you know, for videos. And it sucks because, you know, my name is Daryl Wilson, but there was this case with this cop who killed this African-American man a long time ago. And his real name was Darren Wilson. But for some reason, these people put his name as Daryl Wilson, so people thought I was the same guy. I says, no, this guy's name is Darren Wilson. This is a case in, like, I don't know, Michigan or something. It's really far away. So this feature right here for Yoast, it will actually help your video SEO. If you are a blogger, this will create news sitemaps for your website. And for local SEO, guys, if you're doing local SEO or WooCommerce, I would almost say it's a requirement, especially for local SEO, because local SEO is more practical than SEO on the internet in general, because if somebody can find you through a map, they're just going to go to your store. It's going to be much easier than somebody like, you know, going, you know, to some other website, right? So local SEO is the most powerful thing. So you guys can actually purchase the local SEO here. It is probably the best if you're a retail store. And the Yoast WooCommerce SEO is also very vital because it will actually help you with each product. So I highly recommend these. Like I said, I take the time to make these tutorials, so it does take me a long time. So if you guys do want to purchase it, you guys can purchase it in the link in the description, and I will receive a small commission, and it really does help me to continue to make these videos. Now, the last thing I want to talk about is the freelancer. So if you guys go to freelancer, you're going to see that you guys can actually find somebody, and there is a link for the description for freelancer.com. So for example, what do you need done? You know, just type in SEO, and guys, there are hundreds of people that I work for like dirt cheap, you know. So go to next, and we'll just type in, I'm just gonna get, give them some fake email really quick. Oh, you know, I've actually go ahead and I'm gonna go ahead and log in right here. So I've already had an account, guys, and if you guys want to basically increase the visibility of your website, Yoast alone will not do that. Yoast only helps with on-page optimization. So to get off-page, you're gonna need to hire an SEO company. And if you guys have a request, you guys can just go ahead and go to like, you know, select any of these guys who are doing it. But if you want them to come to you, you can just go to hire freelancers, start a project, or even start a contest. And these guys will do quality work. I recommend people from India because they generally know a lot. I don't know. I just have really good results from people with India. People from Bangladesh and Nepal, I have bad luck with them. They're really not the. I just find that the quality of the work doesn't always meet the criteria I'm trying to get. But people from India, even from Pakistan, they do really good work. So if you guys are interested in freelancer, you guys click on the link and try your first company. Maybe you're looking for something around like $100 for 10 keywords, 10 to 15 keywords for $100 to $200. Don't go over that. That is a relatively good price. You guys can see I use freelancer. This guy right here is from Pakistan. He's helping me build a website with the Divi theme. So you do meet a lot of people. You make relationships with a lot of people. So it's relatively a really, really powerful website. So other than that, guys, I think that is a majority of the Yoast SEO plugin and all of the features about it. If you guys have any questions about it, or if there was something that I did not cover, I didn't want to cover too much about the robot text in their server because Yoast now will actually upload it automatically to your server. So there is no reason for you to sort of, you know, go through your server's files and try to mess with it, especially if you don't know anything about it. So go ahead, guys, and give me a like and a subscribe, and let me know, you know, if I did good, or if there's something that you wanted me to introduce or talk about, etc. So that's basically the entire tutorial, guys, and I will see you all later.